Hey, pipe smokers. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute. My last video was back in April, and it was a box opening of this pipe, a Merchant Service Bing's Favorite, that was gifted to me by Israel, SoCal Piper. Thank you again, Israel. It's a dream of a pipe. It smokes great. I really love it. I love this shape. The Bing's Favorite is one of my favorite shapes, and now I have four different um, styles and makers. So just collecting them, and I enjoy every single one. And this is a huge bucket list item, so I can't thank you enough. With that being said, this is a long overdue video. If you're new to the channel, I bought a house back in April. So I've been busy moving, doing all kinds of stuff like that. Just never got my footing again with making videos. Been busy. We had the Indiana Pipe Show that was about a month ago now, and huge success. You can go look at videos from Smarty Bob, Bobby Six Guns. There are podcast reviews with Nate and Justin from Pipes, Wars, and Pals. I was on a couple weeks or last week on that show with Nate. Well, Justin was out of town, so I kind of did my own little review then and talked about it a little bit. But it was a great time. I appreciate everyone who came out. It was very successful, and next year is going to be even better. Hopefully bigger, maybe not too much bigger because we'll eventually grow out of that space, I think. But I think we'll be okay for at least 5 to 7 years. I would think, unless we would grow a lot more, then we would probably got to find something else. But I think we could make this a good regional show for many years at the same location. And next year, the dates are September 11th and 12th, 2026, in Gas City, Indiana, at Mississinawa Cigar Company. That's save the date. So there's going to be plenty of announcements later on with different updates and stuff like that. So all that stuff will get announced, released at a later date. Visit indianapipeclub.org to sign up for emails and all that stuff, and follow on all the social media stuff, Instagram, Facebook, those kind of things. And I'll try to be better at making more videos and maybe making those announcements. We talked about doing like an Indiana Pipe Club podcast, mostly for announcements, but also have guests on that are in the club that you might not hear from on the bigger podcast, and just be something kind of fun to do. I love like making content and stuff. Trying to get back into the YouTube thing, but also just the audio podcasting has been a lot of fun for me. When I had I did a podcast years ago, before, probably around the same time like Country Squire had theirs when they started there. I think I started mine like shortly after they did, and it was just me and my brother-in-law, and I think we went for maybe 10 episodes, maybe 7, I can't remember. But my brother-in-law isn't much of he's not a pipe smoker, but he smokes cigars here and there, and we did beer and cigars, pipes, and it was just something fun for me and him to do, to hang out. Just was a reason for us to hang out, I guess. um, Anyways, some more on the housekeeping. So the pipe merchant service, smoking McCraney's Red Flake. Now, if you guys remember Old Pipe Pops and his son Mark Make and Change, back in the old, the OG YTPC days, when things were a lot more calm, everyone got along. um, I miss those days. I really do. But Mark had sent me a package a couple years ago with some tobacco for my birthday and everything because he kind of got out of pipes and stuff. So he had sent me some tobacco. I did I think a box opening on it when I got that a couple years ago. But this McCraney's from 2004. I was like, I'm going to save this for a special time, and decided to open it when we had our first Indiana Pipe show. And so I brought it Friday night at the first, like the hangout, like the hangout session, smoke pre-show hangout thing. Popped it open, had a great pop, a hiss, and smelled. You could smell that McClelland, Red Virginia, just. And so passed it around, shared it with some people, and I've been just smoking it here and there. That'd be a great smoke for tonight, and this has a great bowl for Virginias. So, I don't want to make this too long. I've been trying to get a video up, and earlier I ran out of space on my phone, so I'm just gonna start over. I just want to go through some of the stuff I got at the Indiana Pipe Show. I did not get to go look at all the tables. I was so busy with other stuff. So that's one thing I'm going to do next year is right at the beginning, as people are setting up their tables, I am going to put somebody else in charge to do whatever at the beginning and make my way around all the tables and look around, because I did not get to see a single thing really. As I started making my rounds, I got like maybe halfway and got to talking, and then got pulled away for something and never made it back around, and just ran out of time. So that's one thing that I kind of regret doing, is managing my time better. But the first thing was a gift from a buddy who wants to remain nameless, but it's a Jason Patrick, some kind of a freehand shape. It's my first Jason Patrick, and it smokes as good as I thought it would. I mean, it is my favorite pipe to smoke right now. It's comfortable. It smokes effortlessly. I've smoked a lot of different things, and it has a nice deep bowl. But I love it, and it's been my favorite pipe. I had to stop myself from smoking it because I would smoke it almost every day. I was like, I just gotta let it rest a little bit, Sometimes I smoke it twice a day. That's my favorite pipe right now. But it's just kind of a gift, I guess, for getting the ball rolling on the pipe show. And he said a lot of really nice things, and so I want to keep it to myself, I guess, and respect his wishes on not wanting to be named. But if you recognize the pipe, you can probably figure out who gave it to me. And then another pipe that was gifted to me from Kirk, Pipeman 1861. He likes to go by secondary Kirk. But Kirk was a super big help at the end of the show. He helped us tear down. That was a rough part. We had to get all the tables stacked back up and tear down the tents, and I just wanted to relax at the end of the show, but we had to get all that stuff done, especially with people still hanging around. They could help and stuff. But he was a huge help, doing all that, helping us tear down. And I think I made it to his table when I was making my rounds, or my half a round, I guess. And I was kind of looking at this one, and I liked, how it was a full bent, almost a full bent. And so he gifted this to me and said, if I like it, I can have it. And so I said, okay, if you really want to give it to me. But as the military mount, I don't have very many pipes like that. So this is a La Roca. My second La Roca. My first one, my wife gifted to me, and I smoke it all the time. It's like a straight billiard shape, and I guess I got technically a bent billiard maybe. I don't know, but it's a good reading pipe, I think. So thank you again, Kirk, for that. Grabbed a few tins. There's a gentleman there that had a bunch of old stuff, and he was packing up and leaving early. And so I was like, "Oh, did you sell out?" And he said, "No, he could only stay for part of the day because he had to be somewhere." And I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Could I look through your stuff real quick?" Because he had already packed it in the truck. And he said that it was kind of close, so I could take a peek. So I picked up a few tins. These are like the really old tins. And this Captain Earl's. It says Holidays 1996. This is a Hermit Tobacco Vintage Series, probably around the same age. And then a tin of GLP's Barbary Coast, and this is dated 2002, April 11th, 2002. That's my sister's birthday, actually, so maybe I'll crack it open. I don't know. So a couple of vintage. I like to pick up the old tobaccos because I like to take those to shows and crack them open. It's just fun to smoke old tobacco. And then the new stuff I buy now, I can crack them open in 10 to 15 years or whatever. And then picked this up from Mike Lading. The famous Mike Lading was there. I got to hang out with him 2 weekends in a row. He was traveling through, and so he stopped by the lounge on his way through. We got to hang out a little bit. He gifted me a tin of London Burley then, and then he had some tobacco he was selling, so I picked up a couple tins of Royal Twist. And these are dated 23, so I might let them sit for a little bit. Haven't had this one yet, but being Mac Baren, I normally like a lot of Mac Baren stuff, so this is one that I always missed out on when they had drops, when it was still in production. I think I have one other tin in the cellar that's a little bit older, so when I do get around to opening something new like that, I'll probably crack that open. Mike, thank you again for like helping out, and it was nice to hang out a little bit, and excited to hang out again in Muletown and maybe St. Louis. If I come through there. But it was a good time seeing Mike. And then my birthday was shortly after, so my wife was there hanging out and helping out too. So it was kind of fun. She got to meet a lot of you guys. She doesn't get. I think she'd like to start coming to the Pipe Club meetings because I think she does have a good time hanging out with everybody. But we have kids, so she normally hangs out with the kids or stays home with the kids. But we have an older kid too that can babysit now, so she might start coming out to more of the pipe show or Pipe Club events. But she, picked me up a pipe rest that I have plenty of. This is a here in Bespoke Works. And she thought I didn't have one like this, but she was right. It's like the Fellowship on there. And then also a tamper from Paul, Pipes of Old. And she just got home, so I'm going to try to wrap up this real quick before the kids come in. But the last thing I got was my buddy Mikey, church warden, gifted me a tin of Pelican on Friday night. He wasn't able to come to the show, but he came Friday night and hung out. So he gifted this to me, which is pretty cool. So anyways, hopefully I'll make another video here soon. I just wanted to kind of check in and show some stuff I got at the Indiana show. So thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one.